I made it my goal this week to do a healthy meal prep, and I found all these recipes online. First, I went to the farmer's market, and this is the produce I got. I went ahead and washed the fruit and then started on our first recipe. I'm gonna link all the recipes down below so you can quickly grab them and make them. But if you wanna make them along with me, just follow along. The first recipe we're making is a Buddha bowl, and by the time you're watching this, I've already eaten basically all of this meal prep, and so I can tell you this was my first time making it, and it deserves 5 stars. So first you're going to cook the quinoa, and while that's cooking, you're going to preheat the oven to 425 and line a baking sheet. It says parchment paper, but I had aluminum foil. I did carrots, onions, and I didn't have Brussels sprouts, but we did get zucchini from the farmer's market. I topped it with olive oil and Tony's, which was my own add, salt and pepper. Actually, I left out the salt because Tony's has salt in it. And then I went ahead and tossed it all together and threw it in the oven for about 15 minutes. While those are baking, I took some tahini dressing, about 2 tablespoons, and then I just squirted as much sugar-free syrup as I thought I needed, and then a little bit of lemon. It says to add 2 tablespoons of water, but I went ahead and left that out because I wanted a thicker consistency. I put them all in the bowl so that we could store them. It's about 500 calories and about 20 grams of protein. My husband always likes to eat some kind of meat with our meals, but I have to say he said he did not miss it at all. Like, the taste of the tahini dressing was delicious. By far one of my favorite dishes that we made during this meal prep, so this is a must. The next recipe is taco chicken stuffed peppers with greens on the side. This one wasn't quite my favorite, but I know it would have been if we added cream cheese, which I know doesn't make it quite as healthy. I think it was missing some kind of creaminess in the pepper. I really enjoyed using those sweet peppers instead of bell peppers, so I did change this recipe quite a bit, but it still inherently follows the recipe. So first I went ahead and I cut up those bell pepper and I cooked them for a little bit to get them a little bit more soft, and then I added some rotisserie chicken and cheese that was tossed, and then it was just greens with some feta on the side. I went ahead and put my lids on these once they cooled so I could store them into the refrigerator. I tried to set up our meals where we weren't eating the same thing every single day. I only made portion size so we would have it for dinner and lunch. Breakfast was an exception where I made egg muffins. This is my own recipe. I just do 12 eggs with a whole bunch of lunch meat ham and florets of broccoli. It's basically an egg per muffin tin, so you're basically eating 1 egg with some broccoli and ham. It's a really nourishing, high protein breakfast. And then I usually chop it up and put it with an avocado or tuna in the morning to add some more protein after a workout. I never get tired of it, but you could make less and then do a sheet pancake or something to alternate breakfasts. Moving on, I started cooking turkey taco meal prep bowls. This was definitely probably my second favorite meal. I went ahead and started cooking the brown rice. While that was cooking, I cooked the turkey, chopped up onions. I put taco seasoning on top of the turkey, and then I added a jalapeno and salsa. Once that was cooked, I added some corn in the middle, drained it. Really easy step. And then added the meat and veggie mix. This recipe also is one of my own. It's just something I had a couple times as a kid, and I just love it. And all it is cutting up cabbage, and then you steam that with a little olive oil, and then chop up some turkey bacon and put it in there, and you essentially have a cabbage salad. I don't know why, but it just feels so homey and delicious. The next is a cold salad. I go ahead and cook the noodles in the foodie, and you add tzatziki sauce, some kind of vinaigrette. I had this herb and herb kind, Italian dressing, some pepper, mix it all together, and then that's your sauce base. Go ahead and cut up a cucumber. I added some olives, and I peeled a little bit of carrot. Then you add your noodles to the bowl. This one was really easy. Then you stir it all together and then add tuna for a source of protein throughout it. And I decided to add Italian. This was not in part of the recipe. Next, I make creamy Mexican style ravioli bake with zucchini and bell pepper. It's a pretty easy mix. You just cut up your onion and your zucchini. While that was cooking, I went ahead and chopped up this cantaloupe, which I've never had a cantaloupe that looks like this. It was like white cantaloupe, and it was really sweet. I liked it a lot. Once the ravioli was cooked, I added some pasta sauce on it while it was still hot, and then the veggie mixture, and mixed it all together. Topped it with cheese, just like you would do like some kind of like lasagna, and then popped it in the oven. The oven is supposed to be preheated to 450 degrees, and then once that was cooked, I let it cool before we stored it. I also love drinking lemonade throughout the week, so I go ahead and squeeze some limes and lemons. I fill up my lemon concentrate. Last but not least is to clean up. I mean, it's messy, but it was kind of nice to not have to clean up a whole bunch of mini messes throughout the week and not even think about lunch or dinner. Like, it was just freeing my mental space, and I do think that I ate a lot more servings of veggies during the week. So overall, I really enjoyed doing this meal prep, and I want to try it again. I think if I did this again, I would do a lot of like rice-based or quinoa-based recipes, so I could use the quinoa over like a couple of meals versus just using it for that one meal. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps support my channel. I'll see you next time.